teams on Sunday.
Okay.
If I'm going to start believing in them again.
All right.
I'm going to start locally with the Chicago Bears. I need you to go outclass an inferior team. The Panthers are beyond banged up. Their best defensive players, their most talented defensive players, they aren't going to play in this game because of injury. Their offense has looked better since changing quarterbacks, but I would say this is a significant step up in class for Carolina's offense, going against the Bears' defense instead of the Raiders or the Bengals. I need to see the Bears win this game comfortably and convincingly in what I think should be a coming out party for Caleb Williams against the team that traded the pick he was to us.
Yes, more than the 4 points that they're favored. And getting off to a quick start, too. The stagnant start in the first quarter. Like, are we going? You heard the Boo Birds early in the game at Soldier Field.
You did.
Enough
Very
of that.
Early.
Hey, man, you know what I'd like? I'd like for the key drive in which you saw, I think, a run from Caleb, definitely running the football, a few passes, just to get comfortable and keep the line moving offensively. I'd like to see that in the first quarter.
I would agree with you. This is a perfect opportunity to do that. Those 15 scripted plays or whatever they have, like, attack that in a way that builds that confidence for Caleb, and then that gives them momentum to keep going. I agree with you. That's something we have not seen in a minute, not just this season, like in a minute.
Shay, the being unsure as offense, like should we do this? Or would you go long?
Right.
Just
do it.
Just get comfortable on the offense and then move forward.
Quit messing around.
It's
not Pop Warner.
You have a deep enough. You have a big enough lead. You could take some shots down the field if you want to. But to me, it's got to be color by the numbers, move the offense, and then see what you could do after that in the fourth quarter.
And like Waddle was telling us yesterday, let all of your receivers run all of the routes. Enough with clear out DJ Moore. Like, let DJ Moore's an excellent route runner. Let him run the full tree. I don't get why he's just being asked to exclusively run goes. Makes no sense.
All right, what else do you need to see here for this week?
The New York Jets.
Okay. All right, the Jets. All right.
So far this season, it has been about the coaching staff. Nathaniel Hackett, questions about him as an offensive coordinator. Wait for it again, because they could only score 9 points against the Denver Broncos. Questions about Nathaniel Hackett. Questions about Robert Saleh. You get penalized 14 times against Denver at home. Your offensive line, pre-snap penalties galore. The cadence for Aaron Rodgers. You play the Vikings early Sunday morning in London. If there's any quarterback in football that I want diagnosing a Brian Flores blitz before the snap, I think it's Aaron Rodgers. I need to see Rodgers turn the clock back, diagnose the Flores defense, and eat against the Vikings in London. If I'm going to believe that this team's a playoff team, I need to see it this week.
Let's keep our eyes on the Jets' offensive line, too, because Aaron likes to be able to have enough time to be able to roll out in the pocket. You talk about moving the pocket. Even at his age, he still can run left and run right. Let's see if he can connect. But that offensive line will be very key for the elder statesman, Rodgers, at the quarterback position. But I think that Shay's correct, because we've seen that the Vikings, they're going to dial up a blitz early and often against that old-timer.
Yeah, Vikings have looked very much like a complete team right now. But agreed. That game against the Broncos was atrocious for the Jets. They have to bounce back in a very big way. But they're not leaving for London until later on tonight, which I don't know. Is that the best way to go?
Today's Thursday.
I know. Is that a good move or a bad move? I don't know. We shall see.
Both teams are going to have to deal with the time change. I think that becomes a moot point. I think the Jets can win this game, and if they want me to believe that they're a playoff team, they got to win this one. You got to show me that Rodgers can still figure it out.
Shay, you know they're going to drop it, right?
Oh, yeah. I totally.
The Jets are going to drop it.
Yes, they are.
Even though, right in front of me, it's 2.5.
Agreed.
Minnesota's about 2.5. But
That-
I just think that this whole thing is a disaster.
I do too.
Saleh will be fired at the end of the season. I just think, just not a very good communicator, Shay. That's the whole thing. You be bad, but if you're not on the same page with a Hall of Fame quarterback, it tells you all you need to know.
Yeah.
But his defense is solid.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Then they're going to trade
Doesn't
for Devontae Adams. Go ahead, let Joe Douglas, the GM you're going to fire at the end of the year, decide what you do with your second-round pick next season. Go ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
But Saleh's defense, solid.
We know that story.
So,
We've seen that movie before.
I think we're watching it together.
We are.
Pass the popcorn.
Sounds good.
I think we're watching it right now. Shay, what else do we need to see here?
The Cincinnati Bengals 0-3 start stinks, and so does this Bengals defense. But Joe Burrow has quietly been playing some extremely high-level football since the loss to New England in the opener. He's completing 71% of his passes for 7 touchdowns, just 1 interception. If the Bengals can beat the Ravens at home, big win over a divisional opponent, and get to 2-3, will there be anybody left doubting that they can turn this season around and get to the playoffs? This could totally change the story on their season.
I'm not sure.
I'm not either.
I'm not sure because I don't know who the Bengals are. I know what they are now, but after the Ravens game, I think that will tell a great story. Giants, Browns, Eagles, the next 3. And if they can get past the Ravens, Dion, then I think that's true. I think that the Bengals will get on a rhythm, beat a Giants team that's not great. Browns are just awful. And then the Eagles. So I think this is probably the game that's circled for their season. And I'm not sure if they can master the test against the Ravens.
I don't know that they can either. I thought when they lost to the Patriots, I thought this is going to be like the Bears when they beat the 49ers to start the season. And then we were all like, hey, remember how crazy that was that happened? That's what I thought was going to happen because the Bengals have Joe Burrow and they have all this stuff. But at this moment, I've not seen that they can truly turn it all the way around.
Shay, you agree, though, that between these two teams, the Bengals are more at the crossroads than the Ravens.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
The Ravens seem to have it figured out. Their ground game looks like the best in football, 260 yards on the ground last week.
Yeah.
And the Bengals defense just looks terrible. Offensively, I don't think they have issues. Defensively, I think they have a lot of issues. They got to figure that side of it out.
Yeah.
But if you go and win against Baltimore this week at home, you have the first win in the series in hand. You're moving to a tie in the division with Baltimore. Pittsburgh, I don't know that anybody believes is just going to run away with this. It would change the story for the Bengals season if they can get a win on Sunday.
I would agree with you on that. I just don't know if it's going to happen.
We'll see.
know.
This NFL, this is why it's interesting. One thing I will not do, Shay, when it comes to the Ravens, I will not be like the TVs up here over our shoulders saying that this is the best team in football. I'm not doing that yet. I still want to see more. The Chiefs loss, tough loss at the end. The Raiders was a clunker. They should have been able to win that game. Beating the Cowboys, what's the value of beating the Cowboys? Even though it was at Dallas. I mean, who's Dallas really?
They might not be good this year. Offensively, Dallas looks terrible. Defensively, they're very susceptible to the run.
Now the Bills win.
That's
a hell of a win.
That was a great win.
Great win.
That was a dominant win.
So, I mean, I won't go as far as like my friend Dominic Foxworth and others that say, well, this is the best team in the NFL. Okay, let's take a look now because I think that, Shay, you pinpointed it. Ravens-Bengals tells a great story on both sides. Mm-hmm. All right, can you squeeze in one more, please?
Do you want the Bills or the Chiefs? I'll let you choose.
The Chiefs make you angry, so I want to hear about the Chiefs.
4-0's 4-0, but it don't really feel like it with how anemic this offense has looked for Kansas City. They are back at Arrowhead on Monday night against the New Orleans Saints. Chiefs, last few seasons, always start slow. We always kind of question, are they who they've been? And they answer that question in February, inevitably, when they win the Super Bowl. I'd like to see it a little earlier this year. Monday night primetime at home against New Orleans. You got to show me that this offense can move the football. Patrick Mahomes has not played good football this year. 6 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, passer rating south of 90. I need to see this offense start to look good, which is going to be tough because they lost Rashee Rice.
I know.
How do you
make that up?
I'll never bet against him again.
Never?
No, never. It's Patrick Mahomes.
They'll figure it out. I think Mahomes always has confidence that they will, but adjusting to different personnel and moving things around, I don't know.
Haven't we been there before? The Chiefs?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll never bet against them again. And Shay laid out all the points that are correct, that you need to be able to be more of a potent offense, but Mahomes finds a way. He just does. The Saints game, they will roll against the Saints. The 49ers, what are they now? Really, without McCaffrey?
Look good against New England.
Okay.
But who won't?
We would look good against New England. We would look at as a show.
So. Let's hope so.
J. Moore, let's go. Let's beat New England. They want that number 1 pick so bad. And the Raiders and the Buccaneers after that. I think they're going to be okay. They'll turn it on when they have to turn it on. It's the old Golden State Warriors theory, Shay Norling.
That's what. And listen, last year I told you, Kelsey in the regular season last year didn't look good, and then the playoffs is like the best player alive again.
It's like,
Yeah.
This year, same thing. Like Mahomes doesn't look great, Kelsey doesn't look great, and I'm sure once they get to playing football in January, which they will, both of them will look amazing because that's just what this team does.
oh,
How much of that is Andy Reid? He's such a good coach.
yeah.
A lot of it's coaching, right? I mean, they have talent, but
How about Nagy? Hello? Hello?
hanging up now.
Shay, let's do something. Let's do something that's going to go to Bristol. You and I, just real quick. Ready? Let's do this. Lower the music, Jay Moore. Here we go. I want to make sure that they steal this on one of the talk shows up there. Or maybe this goes to FS1. Who knows? Shay, you ready? For the Kansas City Chiefs, the regular season doesn't matter. They've turned into an NBA team. They turn on when they got to turn on in the playoffs. And so what we just laid out, missing Rice, or Travis Kelce, not as good as he once was, they just find a way to win and muddle through the regular season because when the playoffs start, Patrick Mahomes will lead them, just like an NBA team. Well,
True. I have no disagreement. It annoys me to no end that they can look the way they look in the regular season, and I just know it's an inevitability. I will be watching them on that second Sunday in February, whatever it is.
Wow.
I just want you to watch your favorite TV show and see if that's on the lower third someplace. Does Kansas City care about the regular season?
It will inevitably that will happen.
Why should they? Honestly, why should they?
Honestly, when you know what you can do when it matters the most, you're correct. Shay.
Do you
Why
think
should they?
the Tom Brady Patriots gave a rip about September football when they were cooking?
No.
No. So there's I don't give hot takes, Shay, but there's one right there. That'll be in the facility this morning. Or whenever the show is on FS1.
Whatever it is.
They look like they don't even want to play football in September. Like, it's just horrible watching
Right.
them.
Yeah.
And then they'll take off.
All right, we have got deal breakers.
What's annoying is they're still 4-0.
That's the part
what's
that
annoying.
frustrates
Right.
me because
That's
they look
annoying.
so bad.
Yeah, that's
And they're
annoying.
4-0 anyway.
Yes.
Find a way to win. It's great. All right.
Gross.
We will have deal breakers next. Speaking of gross, right here on
Ugh.
Chicago.